Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is Wellness IQ, and my name is Kelly, your host. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that like button, and we would appreciate it. Couple things to get out of the way. I'm not a doctor, so anything that I tell you, please don't consider it medical advice. Talk to your doctor about anything that you might consider doing. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the 10 things that you can do right now to improve your health and your longevity. Some of these will be things that you know innately. Some of these things maybe are not something that you would consider to be part of the longevity trend, but they are now. So take advantage of the new information, and let's look at the 10 things that you can do. Number one, talk to your internist and make sure that you see him for a physical or for a follow-up at least once a year, if not twice a year. Most insurance plans will pay for that 1-year physical. Some will pay for a biannual. If it's a biannual, take advantage of that. There's no reason not to. They can catch things a lot earlier now, and if they catch things early, the chances of you getting better are much higher. So see your doctor at least once a year, if not twice a year. Second thing, this one may not be one that you're familiar with hearing, but adopt a low carbohydrate lifestyle. So there's just too much evidence that shows that people eat too many bad carbohydrates, sugars, pastas, breads, things like that account for maybe 60-70% of a person's calories in a day, and that's way too many. We find now that if you eat a diet that's lower in carbohydrates, you tend to do a little bit better. Weight management kind of takes diabetes off the table. So what's low carbohydrate? Let's say 125 grams of carbohydrate or less per day. That would put your consumption at about 25% of your calories. If you're eating around 2,000 calories a day, that would put that around 25%. And then you can do something along the order of maybe 40% protein and maybe 35% fat or 30% fat. So you can flip those around a little bit. You may want to go a little bit higher on the fat and a little bit lower on the protein. But that will probably do you a lot of benefit. So a low carbohydrate lifestyle, Atkins, keto, paleo, there's a lot of things out there that kind of promote a low carbohydrate lifestyle. But I say don't put a label on it. Just try to eat healthy carbohydrates, vegetables, things like that, fruits that are healthy, but also trying to keep those at around 125 grams a day, and that will be good. Number three, get genetic testing done. 23andMe and some of those other programs that came out a few years ago, they were good. They maybe gave you some idea of relatives that maybe you didn't know you had. But I'm talking about more involved genetic testing, and they can do that now, and a lot of doctors are utilizing that genetic testing. And what they're trying to do is find if you have a predisposition to something, and if they find that you do, then they can kind of put that on a notepad and say, let's watch it. For example, if you have a predisposition for high blood pressure, or if you have a predisposition for high cholesterol, and then you get your blood pressure taken, or you get your blood drawn and your blood pressure is borderline high, or your lipids are borderline high, because you have this predisposition, your doctor may decide to go ahead and take action, even though you may be fairly young, or because it's borderline. By the same example, if you do those same tests and you don't have predisposition based on the genetic test, then maybe your doctor would say, you know what, let's just watch it. Let's try to do something naturally to get this down. Let's maybe have you do some things to reduce your lipids. Let's have you do some things to maybe reduce your blood pressure naturally, and we'll just kind of watch it. So that's an example of why you should get genetic testing. And there are other things that show up with the genetic testing as well, but that's just one example. Number four, do cardiovascular exercise at least 6 days a week for at least 30 minutes, but when you do that cardiovascular exercise, you need to make at least 20 minutes of that 30 or however long you're doing it. You need to make that hard. And what I mean by hard is you need to be out of breath. You need to feel like your heart is beating rapidly. If you have an Apple Watch, if you have some sort of fitness tracker, make sure that your heart rate is up into that 70 to 80% elevated marker. That's all based on your age to determine where your heart rate should be. But to get it elevated and keep it there for 20 minutes, and that way you will get a training effect on your heart, which is what we want. And I'm not saying don't go out and enjoy a walk or go out and enjoy a hike, but when you're going to do your intentional cardiovascular, make sure you get at least 20 minutes of that 30 or however long you're doing. You need to make that difficult. Number 5, you need to strength train at least 3 days a week. And when you're strength training, you need to try to get stronger. And what I mean by that is a lot of people do yoga, they do Pilates, they do classes, they do weight training. And when they first get started, they do get stronger, but that sometimes is just through technique improvement, through the muscles getting used to it. If you've been doing it for a little while, a lot of times what happens is you kind of get to a plateau and you don't improve. So what I want you to do is I want you to try to get stronger. I want you to try to get stronger at the exercises that you're doing. Sometimes you need to vary those exercises to shock the muscles into doing something that they're not used to, and you will get stronger. But work with a trainer, watch YouTube, go take classes, but have a way to measure your strength gains and make sure that you are getting strength gains or trying to get strength gains as you go forward. Number 6, improve your balance. Balance is something that we tend to lose and we don't think much about as we get older, and it is extremely important. A lot of physicians say that as we get older, some of the higher risks of mortality come from falls or come from things that good balance could probably prevent. So you can do some simple things to improve your balance. I'll show some of these in the description. But you can do some things to make your balance better. What we tend to do is as we get older, we rely on our eyes as our balance center, and we kind of stop using that part of the brain that delivers the balance. That's the cerebellum, and you can stimulate that. Some of the simple things you can do is just stand somewhere safely, like in a door frame where you can kind of put your hands out and make sure that you don't fall. Just stand and then shut your eyes. And you'd be surprised at how, just by shutting your eyes, you will feel somewhat unsteady. And as you improve on feeling more steady with your eyes shut, then you can buy things like a wobble board, or you can stand on one leg and kind of improve your balance by making things harder. But improving your balance is one of the things that you can do to make your life better as far as longevity goes and more healthy. Number 7, take vitamins, supplements, and investigate peptides. Now, there's always been this, discrepancy between should you take vitamins? Are they a waste of money? Should you forget about it, just get it all through your food? Well, the answer is if you're eating 100% properly, then you should get it through your food. But how many of us eat 100% properly? So for most of us, a multivitamin is a good idea. So I suggest that you take vitamins. There are also new supplements, there are molecules that people are learning about that have been found to help with kind of turning back the clock as far as what your cells can and can't do effectively. And I will also put these in the description so that you can know what I'm talking about. But the ones that I take are NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. It's a new molecule. And also resveratrol is something that I also take as well. And those are kind of linked to longevity and having your cells on a cellular level to be able to replicate themselves at a level that's higher than what they would as they age. So basically it's giving them a new copy to work with or a new roadmap than to continue to work with the old roadmap that they have. So this is far more involved topic, but we'll talk about that in in another video. But very interesting stuff, very fascinating stuff that you should pay attention to. Let's talk about number 8. Stimulate your brain daily. And what I mean by that is we are living longer in general because we're doing better about helping people avoid heart disease, avoid certain types of cancers. So we are living longer, but by that same token, we're getting some mental decline or mental problems because we are living so long. So you see that there is a rise in Alzheimer's. You see a rise in early onset, or I guess onset dementia. So train your brain like you train your body. Do things, puzzles, read, play chess. Do things that stimulate your brain daily, so that as you do get older and you age, even though your body, you've done a good job taking care of your body, we don't want you to end up with a brain that hasn't kept up. So by doing your brain exercises, you'll have a body and a brain as you get older that do great. Okay, number 9, monitor your own vitals and get your own lab work done. What I mean by that is if you have a fitness tracker, if you have an Apple Watch, it's a good idea to kind of monitor your heart rate during the day and see that if you go up and down a flight of stairs, or if you do something, jog out to your car and back, that your heart rate stays within what you would consider to be normal. We don't want to see it jump up to a real high level just for basic things. Also, with home blood pressure monitors, you can check your blood pressure frequently, and don't just check it once or twice. Check it in the morning, check it in midday, check it at night, and check it several days in a row to make sure that there aren't spikes during the day. So some people check it early in the morning and it's good. Some people check it late in the day and it's bad. So kind of get an average of your blood pressure by checking it multiple times during the day. And that's what I would suggest, that you do that over several days and just keep a log of where it is. Also, an oximeter is something that you can buy. It's cheap. You can get them on Amazon. They're just a little blood saturation monitors that you put on the end of your finger, and they give you an idea of what your blood saturation rate is. With COVID, people are paying more attention to what their oxygen saturation is. So it's a good idea to have one around. Just check it. It should be between 98 and 100% most of the time. If you exercise, it shouldn't drop much because your body should be efficient in getting more oxygen to the cells that need it. So even though it may drop some, it should come right back. If you see a precipitous drop when you're up and walking around or exercising, that's not a good thing, and you'd want to discuss that with your doctor. And then finally, you can get your own labs done now. Before, you used to have you have to have a prescription from your doctor. That's not the case anymore. You can usually find a lab that will draw your blood and get whatever test done that you want, and they'll just give you the results. Or you can have those results sent to your doctor as well. But Quest Diagnostics is one that I use. You can go online. They have a whole litany of tests that you can request. You just go in and get your blood drawn, and that way you don't have to just wait on each time you go to see your physician to find out where you are with your blood chemistries. Some people get their blood drawn quite frequently just to kind of see what trends are happening when they're doing certain things. For example, if they've changed their diet to kind of a keto or to a Atkins type diet, they'll check their blood just to see what's going on, to make sure that their cholesterol doesn't jump up, or that their blood chemistries don't get too far out of line. So that's a great thing to be able to go in. And it's not that expensive. You can go get these tests done for anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on what test you order. So I recommend that you monitor your own vitals and then get your own blood drawn. Number 10, focus on your sleep and make that a priority. Before, we didn't pay a lot of attention to sleep. We just said that some people were bad sleepers, some people were good sleepers, but now we're learning that there is a science to sleep and that there are a lot of things that you can do to improve your sleep. So pay attention to your sleep and make sure that you're doing all the things that you can to get good sleep. Make sure that if you're going to spend some money Spend some money on a good mattress, spend some money on good bedding, make sure that your room is comfortable, that there's not a lot of ambient light coming in, that the temperature is comfortable. Don't have, some people sleep with their TVs on and things like that. We're finding that you're better off to not have that happen for a distraction. So anyway, make sleep a priority and focus on it, and that will help with your overall health and your longevity. And number 11 would be just stay up with all of the information that's out there. We at Wellness IQ will try to keep you up with the newest information that's available. We have a sister channel at KAWP Wellness, also on YouTube. It's more for local doctors. If you're looking for a doctor, if you're looking for a physical therapist, if you're looking for a personal trainer, it's a resource for people that are local. But please come back and follow us on Facebook and the YouTube channel, and we will try to keep you up on all the newest stuff as it comes out. Thanks.